A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Special today, pig's pickled feet. Archie speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, must be 3 or 4 customers here already. You hear that, Duffy? You're in business again. Listen, Duffy, you picked out a very bad time to call up. Yeah, we're just going to go on the air for a broadcast. Now, wait a minute, Duffy. Don't get all excited. It ain't costing a cent. No, the network's doing it for prestige. Well, now, Duffy, I can't brandy words with you now. We're just going on the air, I'm telling you. Goodbye, Duffy. I'll see you later.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mel Allen. Forecast invites you to join us for a decidedly informal evening at Duffy's Tavern, where anyone under the sun is likely to drop in any time to talk things over with Archie. Almost anyone may drop in tonight. Now, people we're sure will be around, however, are Gertrude Neeson, Colonel Stoopnagle, Larry Adler, and John Kirby's orchestra. And now I turn you over to that past master of ceremonies, Archie.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the voice of Duffy's Tavern speaking, formerly Duffy's Bar and Grill, and still owned by the same proprietorship. And we take great pride in presenting them great musicians, John Kirby and his High Schoolians. They offer their own version of Royal Garden Blues. You will note that in the second chorus, the piccolo player hits a note so high that it can only be heard by a dog. Mr. Kirby. Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. The special today, pig's pickled feet. Oh, hello, boss. Hey, how'd you like Kirby's band? They what? Duffy, they do not. Well, I see what you mean. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is it, Archie?
It's Duffy, Mr. Kirby. He says he thinks your band is great. All right, Duffy, I know. I can't tell a guy that, though. You don't understand artists, Duffy. You know, they're much more insensible than you and me. You gotta tolerate them. But Duffy, you haven't liked nothing since Chauncey Olcott cracked up on Mother McCree. You're living in a graveyard full of Irish tennis. Wait a minute, Duffy. Gertrude Neeson, no floor show just walked in. What? All right, I'll tell her. I'll speak to you later. Good evening, Miss Neeson.
Hi, Archie.
Say, Miss Neeson, I hate to, I hate to bury sleeping dogs, but Duffy has been complaining about you.
Oh, what's old Novocaine brain squawking about now?
Well, he claims you insulted his best customer, Mr. Feldever K. Beldorf. Was you out to dinner with Beldorf last night?
Yes, and I'll never go out with that crumb again.
Huh?
You know what happened? He asked me to go out to dinner last night, so I go with him. Well, you know how I never like a strange man to pay for my meals.
Yeah, I know.
So I said to him, Mr. Beldorf, I insist that this dinner should be Dutch. But he said he absolutely wouldn't hear of it.
Well, that's nice.
He said I had to pay for him, too.
That's Beldorf, so what did you do?
Oh, I did what any lady would do. I broke a plate over his head.
What else could you do?
Well, frankly, as man to man, do you think that breaking a plate of soup over a guy's head should be construed as an insult?
No, but Beldorf's a little hypersensitive. Don't like those things. I'll explain it to Duffy, though. By the way, Duffy ain't never heard them golden tones of yours, Miss Neeson. You know, I've told him about you being a great star of the movies and the radio, and when I mentioned that you have been on the stage, he says he had one request.
Look, Archie, even to please Duffy, I will not recite Casey at the bat.
Well, all right, then. But would you mind rendering the customers with a song?
All right, I'll do something especially for Mr. Duffy. Does he rumba?
An amusing question, Miss Neeson. Proceed ahead.
Bailar con la rumba negra, Marina de Boca.
Is a little knowledge quite good? Maybe it won't help you, but it should. You cannot travel unless you know how Latin say yes. That inspirational, so sensational, yes. In Spain they say, si, si. In France they say, oui, oui. Every little Dutch girl says, ja, ja. Every little Russian says, da, da. But, sweetheart, tell me why. No matter how I try, you listen to my plea, won't say yes in any language to me. Why don't you say, si, si? All the monkeys in the tree, they don't have to say, si, si. All they do is wag their little tails. That's a little gag that never fails. But, sweetheart, tell me why. No matter how I try, you won't listen to my plea, won't say yes in any language to me. Why don't you say, see, in any language to me. Why don't you say it is? Or maybe you say hey. Why don't you say it is?
Excuse me. Good evening. Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat today's special pig's pickle feast. Archie speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, it's you again, Duffy. Say, Duffy, do I have to say that poem you made up every time I answer the phone? All right, I'll say it. Only we're going to be in trouble when the special is corned beef hash. Say, by the way, what did you think of Gertrude Neeson singing? What? Well, gee, Duffy, some people like her. What? A little more pizzicato. All right, I'll tell her. He says you should have sang louder, Miss Neeson.
Let me have that phone. So, you didn't like my singing, Mr. Duffy. And you're the greatest living authority on Irish tenors. You call what you're doing living? Oh, so your wife says a girl who sings like I do would smoke cigarettes. Listen, you crummy old broken-down barfly, you miserable no-good four-flushing. What? Yes, you can call me Gertrude. And furthermore, lame brain, if I had the wings of an angel, I'd beat your brains out with them. Goodbye.
Hello, Duffy. What's new? Duffy, you and your Irish tenors. Wait a minute, Colonel Stoopnagle just come in. Good evening, Colonel.
Harding, Screechy.
Oh, how are you tonight, Colonel?
Oh, I'm in pretty good shape for the shape I'm in. That is, considering my shape.
Well, that's pretty good. Have a cigar, Colonel?
Yes, I have.
Thanks. I'll be right with you, Colonel. Have a seat. Hello, Duffy. The Colonel's got a look in his eye like a $3 porterhouse. If I play my cards right, maybe I can sell him a slice off of that Kansas City steer you've been saving for inflation. Well, listen, Duffy, that steer ain't getting no younger. Okay, see you later. Well, Colonel, you sure are a sight to give a person sore eyes. Here, let me take your hat and shotgun. Been to a wedding?
Huh?
Been to a wedding?
No, Archie, I've been hunting ducks.
Hey, Nimrod, would you mind not pointing that shotgun at my head? I just had my hair done.
Pardon me, madam, but you don't have to be afraid of this fowling piece, unless you happen to be a duck.
Well, she don't happen to be no duck, Colonel. She happens to be a canary. Colonel Stoopnagle, this is our chanteuse, Miss Gertrude Neeson.
How do you do? I'm sure.
Well, I haven't seen you in a long time. You're putting on quite a front stoop, Nagel.
Better give me that foul piece, Colonel, and I'll put it out of harm's way.
Hey, careful of that, Archie. That's no ordinary shotgun.
It ain't, huh?
It's what I call a sawed-on shotgun.
Oh.
You will also observe that it's made with one barrel on top of the other instead of side by side. It's for shooting ducks who happen to be riding piggyback.
That's certainly a very clever blundering bust, Colonel.
Blundering bust. Oh, yes. And here's another startling feature about it. One barrel is loaded with bullets, and the other barrel is loaded with nothing.
Loaded with nothing? Why is that?
Well, the loaded one's for shooting ducks, and the unloaded one is for not shooting innocent bystanders.
Oh.
Say, Archie, how about that steak for the Colonel?
Oh, yeah, thanks for reminding me. Say, Colonel, we got a steak here we've been saving especially for you.
Archie, now you're talking. After that duck hunt, I could eat a horse.
Colonel, you have placed an order. Nick, that saddle steak for Colonel Stoopnagle.
Want me to ride it in, boss?
No, just slap it on the rump and hold the kitchen door open. It'll walk it. Oh, good evening, Officer Clancy. What'll it be, the usual absence frappe?
Never mind that. Who belongs to the blue sedan parked outside, next to the fire hydrant?
Well, what's wrong with that? It's my own fire hydrant.
Now, listen, you.
Now, you listen, Clancy. You're supposed to be a friend of Duffy's. Why do you always come in here annoying the customers?
You listen here, Archie, and don't be giving me no back talk. You keep your customers obeying the law, or I'll close you up.
Well, you can't close us up. We ain't got a license.
Yeah, but I know. Well, don't let it happen again.
Okay, Clancy. Holy smoke, Colonel. If he ever finds out we really got a license, we're going to be in trouble.
Well, don't worry, Archie. I've got a pull with the mayor. I can arrange to have your license revoked.
Oh, thanks. Thanks very much, Miss Mason.
Oh, nothing at all.
Say, Archie.
Yes, Colonel.
Could I interest you in this thing here that I've just invented?
Well, what is it, Colonel? To me, it looks just like a door.
A door it is. It's a bathroom door that you don't have to wait outside of.
You don't have to wait outside of it. Well, why is that, Colonel?
Because it opens into a closet.
Gosh, Colonel, you sure have got a furtive mind. I'll bet you'd have a million suggestions how to improve this place.
Well, I have one idea you might use, Archie. I've just invented a brand new drink. It's made by brewing malt and yeast and hops together, and the result is a tangy, golden liquid with a frothy head on it.
But, Colonel, we got that here. That's beer.
That's odd. That's what I call mine.
Now, wait a minute, Colonel. Beer was invented more than 2,000 years ago.
Really? It seems like only yesterday.
Say, Colonel, have you ever tried your hand at inventing an Irish tenor?
Why?
Well, Duffy says either I get an Irish tenor or I'm fired.
My boy, never despair. I, Colonel Lemuel Q. Stoopnagle, am an Irish tenor.
Aretha, we're saved. Oh, but wait a minute. Duffy only likes Irish tenors.
Ah, sure, me own mother was a queen of the quins of County Down. Ah, she was indeed. Indeed, she was. Ah. How well I remember me mother and I.
Colonel.
Over
Hey, Colonel.
Outdoor walk Irish.
Hey, Colonel. Can you sing with a kind of a catch in your voice, maybe?
Listen, Archie, when you hear me sing My Wild Irish Rose, you'll hear the lakes of Killarney. You'll hear the Shannon River flowing softly down to the sea. You'll hear the lilt of Irish laughter, the salt of Irish tears, the beat of brave Irish hearts, and the wail of the Irish banshee.
Oh, she was indeed. Indeed, she was. See what I mean, Archie?
Yeah, that's just what I'm afraid of. If it ain't done right, Duffy will be on that phone quicker than Jack Robinson and tear the roof off me.
Don't worry about a thing, Archie. This will be magnificent. To the pipes, Mr. Kirby. My wild Irish rose.
Colonel, I think you better stop.
You may look at.
Hello? This is Finnegan's Pharmacy. This is Finnegan the pharmacist speaking. All right, Duffy, don't get so excited. All right, well, he stopped, didn't he? What? Oh, Duffy. Look, that ain't possible. No, Duffy, it is not possible. All right.
Hey, what was that, Archie?
Nothing. We had a request, that's all.
Well, I'm always glad to oblige. What was the request?
Never mind, you couldn't do it.
Say, Archie. Look who just came in. You know Larry Adler, the harmonica player.
Why, sure. How are you, Mr. Adler? Glad to see you.
Hello, Archie. Nice seeing you again.
Say, Archie, you know Larry Adler happens to be the finest harmonica player in the world. You think Duffy would like a sample of his talent?
That Duffy don't want guys with talent. He wants Irish tenors.
Well, Archie, if it'll help at all, I know a million Irish tunes.
Hey, Mr. Adler. Do you know Danny Boy? Duffy always liked that one.
Sure, me boyo, I know it well.
Okay. Well, let's take a chance on Mr. Adler. But, Mr. Allen, when you announce him, you know, there's no use confusing Duffy about the man's name. You know what I mean.
Yeah. I get it, Archie. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Boy, played on the harmonica by the world's greatest harmonica virtuoso, Larry O'Adler.
if that could be Duffy. Hello? You liked him? You really did, huh, Duffy? Oh, well, that's swell. Sure you can hear him on records. Yeah, you're right, Duffy. Nothing like an Irish harmonica player. What? Buy a drink for the house. Are you sure this is Duffy? Well, all right, Duffy, that's fine. Okay. Folks, Duffy's buying a drink for everybody. Did you hear that, Nick?
I heard it, but I don't believe it.
Well, it's true. And by the way, Nick, Duffy says close up the free lunch until the thing blows over.
Yeah, boss. That's more like Duffy. Here you are, folks. Drink hearty. It's on Duffy.
Well, you can quote me as being astounded.
There he is. Don't often get Duffy in such a monogamous mood. Well, here goes.
Needle beer. Seems like old times. Which reminds me, Archie, whatever became of your old friend Two-Top Gruskin?
Two-Top Gruskin? What is it?
It isn't a net. It's a guy. He's a two-headed baseball pitcher. He can watch first base and third base at the same time.
You say he had 2 heads?
Certainly had 2 heads, Miss Neeson. What's so strange about Two-Top having 2 heads?
Oh, there's nothing strange about it. But Two-Top Gruskin.
Well, his real name is Athos and Porthos Gruskin. But they nicknamed him Two-Top, I suppose, on account of him having 2 heads.
Very original.
Yeah, what did become of Two-Top?
Oh, he got married.
Happily?
Well, as he always shakes his head when you ask him, is he happily married? Yes and no.
Well, why is that, Archie?
Well, it all started the night that Two-Top's wife, whose maiden name was Inez Harrigan before she was married, the night that she met Two-Top at the Dollar Beer Racket and Masquerade Ball down here at Duffy's Bar and Grill. You know, the old place.
Oh, yeah.
Duffy announces that first prize for the best masquerade costume is going to be a free drink on the house, which, as you know, is a very rare offer from Duffy, outside of on St. Patrick's Day. Whatsoever, let's not digress. Anyway, the masquerade gets rolling, and there's terrific competition for the free drink when all of a sudden in comes the big piece of resistance himself. He comes in. Two-Top Gruskin himself. He comes as a pair of bookends.
There's a pair of bookends?
Yeah, with a book between his 2 heads. A book his mother gave him. Little book his mother gave him called My Son, My Son.
I get it, boss. I get it. She knew him like a book, eh, boss?
That's good, Nick. But let's not have no more of that. Well, anyway, when midnight comes, the judges give the first prize to the bookends. And when he takes off his mask, everybody is amazed to see that the winner is Two-Top. That's how he met Inez. When he takes his mask off, she gives him a quick glance, and then she turns around again and gives him another glance to confirm the first glance. And right away, it was love at first sight. But she says to me later, I don't know, Archie, there was just something different about him. Says, I guess it's that he was so tall, blonde, and brunette. Well, Two-Top falls for Inez, too, and it ain't 10 minutes before he's playing I Love You Truly on a harmonica and kissing her at the same time. So, finally, he proposes marriages to her.
Bigamy, huh?
Yeah. So Inez says, okay, Two-Top, after all, twice a loaf is better than none. Hello, Duffy. You changed your mind. You've been thinking it over and you don't like her, Adler. But, Duffy, no, you can't take back free drinks after people have drank the drinks. No, it's neither practical nor ethnical. But listen, Duffy, when you forget Chauncey old card, I'm in the middle of a story. Yeah, I'll call you back later. That's Duffy, no restraint. Well, anyway, as I was saying, Two-Top is so happy about Inez marrying him that he quick goes over to the bar to celebrate. So Duffy puts first prize to drink on the house down in front of him. But Harold, the bartender, says, don't you think it's pretty cheap, Duffy, giving a 2-headed guy just 1 drink? So Duffy says, okay, I'll be a sport. I'll give the other head to chase it.
Sounds a bit parsimonious, Archie.
Oh, yes, well, fella. Well, Two-Top takes the drink, see? But it seems he takes it with the head that he inherited from his father's side of the family. And the first thing you know, he can't stop drinking. Well, the head that's drinking the chasers tries to control him, but it's no use. So finally, the sober head winks at Duffy and says, better slip my Mickey, Duffy. Well, then the trouble really starts. Duffy, who's a little nearsighted, makes a mistake, and he puts the Mickey into the chaser. Well, in no time, both the two tops' heads is out like light. Well, with this, Inez gets mad and she hollers, "You're drunk." So as one man, two top comes two, or rather he comes four, and he says, "Who's drunk?" So she says, "You are. You on the left." Says, "Come on, Porthos, I'll marry you, but I never want to see that other face again." And that's why, Colonel, to this day, if you ask Two Top, is he a happy married man, he always nods one head yes and shakes the other head no.
Archie, that's a wonderful story. You're a natural-born raconteur.
Thanks, I think. But I'll be a natural-born corpse if I don't get an Irish tenor for Duffy.
Say, Archie.
Oh, are you here again, Clancy?
Yes, it's the last time I tell you to get that car away from the fire hydrant.
Oh, Clancy, don't... Clancy, do you by any chance know any Irish tenors?
Sure, and I'm an Irish tenor myself.
Clancy Olcott.
What's that, Miss Neeson?
Clancy Olcott. If you can make an O-Adler out of an Adler, why can't Clancy be Clancy Olcott?
But Olcott's dead.
Does Duffy know that?
Well, probably not. He still insists that John L. Sullivan is the heavyweight champion of the world.
You see what I mean, Archie?
You're a reaper, Miss Neeson. I think you've given me the mucus of an idea. Clancy, do you know when Irish eyes are smiling?
Certainly.
Well, what are we waiting for? Give me that microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, Duffy's Tavern takes great pride and pleasure in presenting, at the exclusive request of Mr. Duffy himself, that celebrated Irish tenor, C. Olcott.
When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all this world is bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away.
Hello, Duffy. You liked it, huh? Well, it's about time you heaped an encomium at me. What? Ah, Duffy. What do you know? He's crying. Always cries when he hears an Irish tenor. Ah, now, Duffy, please. Well, stop, Duffy, stop. Of course we all love you, Duffy. Everybody loves you. Oh, the world ain't against you. But for the love of Mike, Duffy, it ain't true. I tell you, we love you like I was our own brother.
That will give you a rough idea of what Duffy's Tavern will be like when and if it reaches the air regularly. Tonight's program, like each forecast show, is intended as a sample broadcast, an illustration of what you may expect of Duffy's Tavern if it eventually becomes a weekly radio feature. If you want to hear more from Archie, from Gertrude Neeson, from John Kirby's orchestra, and from the never audible but always active Duffy himself, write to CBS and tell us so. Your applause will help to make Duffy's Tavern a weekly broadcast feature.
Next week, Forecast will present a full-hour show from Hollywood, a large-scale musical variety program called Of Stars and States. The cast, headed by John Bowles, will include Virginia Vale, Nan Gray, Arthur Q. Bryan, and Governor Leo Daniel of Texas. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Duffy's, where do you like me to eat? Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Tonight, Clifton Fadiman. Had a mental brain from the radio. Huh? Is he the guy who says what? Madam, what is your problem? No, Duffy, you're thinking of Mark Anthony. This is the guy that asked the questions on information, please. Very brainy guy. Huh? Yeah, maybe you're right at that, Duffy. What brains does it take to ask questions? Yeah. Well, anyways, we're stuck with him. Yeah. He's coming down to lecture to the Lord Byron Ladies Literary Society. Well, don't worry, Duffy. I'm writing the lecture for him, so he can't louse us up. The crowd here? The usual gang of crumbs. Yeah, but, oh, by the way, Moriarty just come in. He's very sore at the government. Yeah, for canceling last year's income tax. Well, you remember when he filled out his return, he chiseled so much he didn't pay nothing? Now he figures he's losing money. Yeah. Well, I'll call you back, Duffy. Okay.
Welcome to Duffy's. Come on in and meet Finnegan, Eddie the waiter, Miss Duffy, Tito Gazar, Peter Van Steeden and his orchestra, our special guest tonight, Clifton Fadiman, and Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Hey, Mr. Archie?
Yeah?
Well, what happened to the sign?
What sign, Eddie?
The watch your hats and coats sign.
There it is, only I rephrased the words so that Clifton Fadiman will feel more at home here. Read it.
Let me see. Maintain scrutiny of thy chapeaus and hats. Nice and confusing, ain't it?
Yes, isn't it? It's a quotation from Shakespeare. Did you ever see any of Shakespeare's plays, Eddie?
One, As You Like It.
Well?
I didn't like it.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he had an off day that day.
Hello, Arch.
Well, Clifton Finnegan. Hello, Finnegan.
Arch, look at this. Boy, am I proud. A poem by Crackpot O'Toole of Fortune. Dedicated right at me personal.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. What's the poem, Finnegan?
Yeah, I'll read it to you. Some men is fools and morons, and some is even judge. But you, dear Clifton, combined them all. Nature has gave you the words. Well, the guy must really like me, huh?
Yeah, he must. You may not know it, Finnegan, but that poem is written in pure cubic centimeter.
Centimeter? You mean he's going to charge me for it?
No, Finnegan, if he charged you, you'd have to pay at least a nickel a meter.
Oh.
Don't forget, that's an original crackpot.
Archie?
Oh, yes, Miss Duffy.
Did you see my Dostoevsky?
Your what?
My Dostoevsky.
Is it animal, vegetable, or mineral?
No, it's a book.
Miss Duffy, what would you be doing with a book?
Well, Clifton Fadiman's coming down here, and I don't want him to catch me not reading.
Well, naturally,
You see, if everybody stopped reading, authors would stop writing. And if authors stopped writing because nobody was reading, Mr. Fadiman, being a critic, couldn't read what authors were writing, and that would put an end to his writing about reading. And the poor man would be out of a job.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Or to put it another way, if authors write and people don't
please,
read...
Miss Duffy, I don't think I care to go around again. Dostoevsky. Who ever heard of Dostoevsky?
Oh, you probably never even heard of Shakespeare.
Miss Duffy, not alone have I heard of Shakespeare, I happen to know Bacon, the man who plagiarized him.
Who?
Sir Francis Bacon, the man who wrote every word that Shakespeare ever wrote.
Archie, do you mean to stand there and say that the greatest writer that ever wrote didn't?
Yes, I do. Shakespeare, the so-called bard of Stratford Avenue. I maintain that he is strictly a phony.
Archie, how can you say such a thing about a man who's too dead to defend himself?
Miss Duffy, you dig him up and I'll tell it to him to his face.
Well, wait a minute, Archie. Maybe we're talking about not the same Shakespeare. What was the first name of yours?
William.
Yeah, that's the one, all right.
Of course, William Randolph Shakespeare. Besides, Miss Duffy, when you talk about guys like Shakespeare, it ain't necessary to mention their first names. Everybody knows who you mean.
I differ with you.
In what respect?
How about Washington?
Miss Duffy, if I went up to a strange guy and said Washington, I'm sure the guy would know that I meant George.
Not if he was selling train tickets.
If I was buying a train ticket, I would say Washington, D.C.
Then why don't you say Shakespeare, D.C.?
Because I ain't going to Shakespeare, D.C.
Why not?
Because I can't get a room. Look, Miss Duffy, I got Clifton Fadiman coming down here to read my lecture to Mrs. Piddleton and them dames, and I got a lot on my mind. Pending our waiting for the arrival of Clifton Fadiman, Mrs. Piddleton, and Lord Byron Ladies Literary Society, you'll be simply enchanted to know that we will now hear a song by Mr. Tito Gazar, Mexico's answer to the Andrews sisters. What is the song, Tito?
I will sing that beautiful song entitled Si Bonet.
Well, that's your own for negative. Go ahead and sing it. Ladies will please swarm.
Si bonai de mi sueño, si no oyes la queja de mi voz. Si bonai, si no vienes, ay, moriré de amor. Si bonai de mi sueño, te espero con ansia en mi Si bonei, si no vienes, ay, moriré de amor. Oye el eco de mi canto de Cristo. Si bonei, yo te quiero, yo me muero por tu amor. Al arrullo de tu palma pienso en ti. Si bonai,
bravado, Tito. Simply bravado. Mucho groucho.
Say, Mr. Archie, did that Mr. Fadiman drink coffee?
Coffee? I guess so. Eddie, why?
Well, we're running a little short.
Well, add some chicory to what you got.
Okay. But chicory added to chicory is going to taste a little like...
Well, he'd probably be reading a book anyway. He won't notice it.
Oh, Archie, dear boy.
Well, Mrs. Piddleton, how are you? You're looking great.
Archie, you know I look a fright.
All right. What makes you look like such a fright?
Oh, I've had a terrible experience. Terrible. I had to come down here by subway.
Good gracious. The subway? How ghastly.
Well, there was no alternative. You see, my limousine is hors de combat.
Yeah, what year?
Hors de combat, Archie, a French expression, out of action.
Oh, you mean like OPA?
OPA?
An American expression. Out of gas. That subway must be simply livid for one to ride in, huh?
Oh, yes. One encounters such a bourgeois class of society.
Oh, simply bourgeois, yeah. Makes one sorry one went to the trouble of ducking under the turnstile.
Archie, then you have been in the subway.
Only in London. Of course, over there we refer to it as the lift. But so much for conversation. I'm glad to see you.
Well, it's a delight to be here again on the same. Except poor Mr. Duffy. He seems to have aged considerably.
Mrs. Piddleton, that's the moose head you're looking at.
Moose head? Oh, Archie, I'm afraid you'll have to remove it.
Why?
My doctor's orders. I'm allergic to stuffed animals. Oh, yes, Mrs. Gribb. We're waiting for you and Mrs. Allen. Well, Mr. Fadiman isn't here yet. Clifton Fadiman. Oh, my dear, I can't help it. There's a moose here, and it does something to my hay fever. I should do what? It already has been shot. Oh, yes, he's speaking tonight on literature. Don't Dr. Booth. Clifton Fadiman. Well, we'll wait for you, darling. Goodbye.
Hello? Oh, well, thank you. Mrs. Piddleton, the operator says Gesundheit. Eddie, take Mrs. Piddleton into the kitchen. There she won't smell the moose.
I see what you mean.
What, Miss Duffy?
Ain't that Mr. Fadiman coming in?
Oh, sure, Clifton Fadiman. Well, if it ain't me old pal, Clifton Fadiman. Oh, you tip old boy,
I'm looking for someone named Archie.
Just a minute. I'm Archie. You had the pleasure of meeting me just a short nonce ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm wearing my wife's glasses.
Your wife's glasses? Oh, that's different. I can't expect your wife to know me. By the way, Mr. Fadiman, this is Miss Duffy.
Plaza 59970.
I beg your pardon?
Well, you're always asking questions, so I thought I'd give you the answer first.
Miss Duffy, Mr. Fadiman is an intellectual. He don't go out with dames.
Well, that intellectual I ain't. In fact, when it comes to dames, my taste is positively lowbrow.
Plaza 59970. See you later.
Oh, please, Miss Duffy. Mr. Fadiman just came here. Kip, by the way, speaking of books...
Who was?
I was. Speaking of books, did you ever read any of the works of the famous poet and forger, Crackpot O'Toole?
O'Toole. What sort of things does he write?
Mostly sonnets and bum checks. That's him. Sonnets and bum checks. That's him over there tilting the pinball machine. Hey, Crackpot.
Yeah,
Crackpot, come here. Clifton Fadiman, meet Crackpot O'Toole. Crackpot, meet Clifton Fadiman. You two guys should have a lot in common.
Oh, you're a forger, Mr. Fadiman?
Crackpot, Mr. Fadiman is from information, please. Kip, you'll pardon Crackpot's ignorancy. He's been upstate, up the river, Ossining.
Oh, you mean in the Clink?
In the Clink, yeah, in a manner of speaking, yes. We can talk about it, can't we, Crackpot?
Why not? It was nothing. Only a few years for forgery. I made a little innocent mistake when I signed a check. I put 2 T's in Vanderbilt. The whole thing was laughable.
Kip, someday if you get a chance, I'd like you to get a look at Crackpot's adaptation of Shakespeare.
Crackpot? You rewrote Shakespeare?
Yep.
I rewrote 23 of his plays. How long did it take you? 23 minutes.
23 minutes, Crackpot? I bet you Shakespeare himself didn't even write it that fast.
Well, after all, Arch, I got an edge on the guy. I'm ambidextrous.
What's that?
Two-handed dexterous. I can write with both hands.
Mr. Fadiman, couldn't you use Crackpot on information, please, sometime?
But, Archie, we have a poetry expert, John Kieran.
Granted, but suppose you ask Kieran to quote you something, say, from Lord Byron. Could he do it?
Of course. He could quote whole stanzas. Could Crackpot do that?
Not alone could Crackpot quote whole stanzas, he could give you the whole poem in Byron's own handwriting.
Thanks, Arch.
Okay, Crackpot. Yeah?
Middleton wants to know when the lecture's going to start.
Oh, any minute, Eddie. Go over and talk to her. Keep her happy for a second.
I've been talking to her. I say Gesundheit, she said thank you. I say Gesundheit, she said thank you. I say Gesundheit, she said thank you. It's pretty monotonous conversation.
Well, talk to her anyways. Are you ready for the lecture, Mr. Fadiman?
All ready.
Okay, you ready, Danny?
Ready. Ladies and gentlemen.
Just a second, Mr. Fadiman. What's right is right. Danny started first. Besides, you ain't studied the lecture that I wrote for you.
You wrote a lecture for me?
You seem amazed. I'll go over it with you in a minute. Mr. Fadiman, leave us get started, huh?
Archie, did I hear you correctly? You wrote a lecture for me?
That's right.
And you expect me to read it?
Don't worry, there ain't many big words. And what ones there is, I wrote out in capital type. Here it is.
But I brought my own lecture.
Your own don't like it. Look, Fadiman, suppose you was in my spot. Would you let every Tom, Dick, and Harry come in off the street and read his own stuff? How do I know it's clean? How do I know it makes sense?
Well, I was just going to talk about the rudimentary forms of iambic pentameter.
You see? Listen, in this business, we got to protect ourselves.
Well, all right, I'll read your speech, but there's one thing.
What?
If I get fired from information, please, can I eat here?
That I wouldn't advise. Now, please, leave us get going, huh?
Oh, Archie, when is the lecture going to start?
Any minute, Mrs. Middleton. Mrs. B, this is Clifton Fadiman.
Oh, Mr. Fadiman, I want you to know how deliriously happy it makes us girls to have a man like you talk to us.
Mrs. Middleton. These days, it makes girls deliriously happy if any man talks to them. Leave us get on with the lecture, huh? Trumpets, please. Thank you. Your man is improving, Mr. Van Steeden. Thank you. Ladies, I introduce a man who needs no introduction. So, without further introducing him, I present you Mr. Clifton Fadiman. A lecture, Mr. Fadiman.
Thank yous, one and all. Ladies of the Lord Byron Ladies Literary Society, my subject for tonight is contemporary literature. I will discuss contemporary literature from literature in the Middle Ages to books for children. Literature is divided into three parts: fiction, non-fiction, and... Archie, where's the third part?
I couldn't think of it. I went nuts. Go on.
Literature was started by the cavemen who used to chop out stories in stone with an axe, hence the term hack writer. This, however, was very hard on the circulating libraries, as people got tired carrying home them stone books. Besides, many times the stones would fall on the author, crushing him, hence the expression, pulp writer. This led to the invention of sheepskin, which up till then had only been used for diplomas. Literature has gave birth to more writers than any other profession. Namely, among whom are Shakespeare, Bacon, Dickens, and Sir Walter Lipton. Among the French writers are Voltaire, Charlemagne, and Francho Cone. Say, Archie, you left out Mademoiselle from Armentières.
That's a different kind of literature.
Now, among the American writers is also a great assortment of literary authors. Just as music has its three B's, Bach, and Bookhoven, American literature has its three O's, O'Neill, Odette, and O'Toole. Next comes the Russian writers, among who is Tolstoy, Rimsky-Korsakov, Dostoevsky, and the greatest Russian of them all. Oh, I can't.
Go ahead, Fadiman.
Ivanhoe. can't go on with it. My reputation will be ruined. Ladies, the lecture is over. I thank you.
Oh, Mr. Fadiman.
Yes, Mrs. Fiddleton.
I've heard you speak many times. I've read every word you've ever written. Your books, your reviews in the New Yorker magazine.
Yes?
And there's one thing I want to tell you. In my personal opinion, this is the first time you've ever made sense.
To leave Duffy's for the evening, but let's all meet again at Duffy's next week when our guest will be Monty Wolf. You have a half hour next Tuesday evening at the same time. Remember,
Duffy's where your late mate date. Yeah, Duffy, next week, Monty Woolley. Hey, yeah, the guy with the beard. Huh? The hot weather? Don't worry, Duffy. Nature takes care of them things. In the summer, he sheds.
Myers, the makers of Sal Hepatica, famous laxative, and Minute Rub, modern chest rub, brings you Duffy.
Hello, Duffy's where the elite meet to eat. Archie, the manager, speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Well, tonight, Duffy, we really got a big shot. Bing Crosby. Crosby. C-R-O-S-B. Yeah. You know the guy, Duffy, the straight man in the Bob Hope pictures. Yeah, that's right. Bob Crosby's older brother. Yeah, the crooner with the 4 sons. Huh? Was Bing always a crooner? No, he studied singing for 8 years before he found out he couldn't sing. But by that time it was too late. He was too famous to quit. Hey, Duffy, why don't you sell Bing a half an interest in the joint here? No kidding. Well, a guy like that could help us with the labor shortage. He grows his own bus boys. Mrs. Duffy wants to meet Bing? What for? But, Duffy, what could he use her for? She's too big for a sarong and too slow for the track. Well, I'll talk to Bing about the partnership, Duffy. Okay. So long.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Duffy's. Come on in and meet Finnegan, Eddie the waiter, Miss Duffy, Paul Weston and his orchestra. Our special guest tonight, by courtesy of Kraft, Bing Crosby, and Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Hey, Eddie, did you hear? Bing Crosby might buy a half interest in this place.
What? Bing Crosby? The one that wears them shirts?
Yeah.
The one with the 4 sons?
Yeah.
The one with them race horses?
Yeah.
He's going to buy a half interest in this place?
Yeah.
I suppose he just don't care anymore.
Listen, Eddie, with good management, this place could show a very nice overhead. Especially with the new floor show that I wrote for Crosby.
Oh, you wrote it, huh?
Yeah, I wrote it. It's going to have the same flavor as his radio show.
He's on a cheese program, ain't he?
Yeah, good, huh? Let's see now. There's Trudy Irwin, John Trot Scotter.
Cobb Kempenture.
Yeah, Cobb, and that Yuki,
who's going to be Yuki? You?
Oh, no, I'm too statuesque. Oh, for the part of Yuki, I gotta get a guy that's very short and a little stupid.
What?
Hiya, Finnegan.
Not quite short enough, huh?
No, but he's a little more stupid, so it comes out even. Finnegan, how would you like to be an actor?
An actor? Oh, boy. I got me them. I got you, dear. I got some. Oh, let's sing more. I got
just a minute, Finnegan. Finnegan, calm yourself.
Anything more?
Stop it, will you? Finnegan, look, I don't mean a song and dance man. I mean a comedian.
Oh, comedian? Yeah. I got a good joke. Why does your fireman wear red suspenders?
Why?
To get on the other side.
Finnegan, I'm afraid your humor is a little too delicate for this show. Everything happens to me. Miss Duffy, will you please stop with that noise?
Well, what's wrong with my voice?
Oh, nothing at all. But how can you yell like that with nobody beating you?
My singing teacher says I have perfect pitch.
Well, you may have perfect pitch, but if you start singing around here, you better learn how to catch. What's this about the singing teacher, anyhow?
Oh, you remember my old singing teacher, Yasha Panyaslavnik.
Good old walk-up one-flight Yasha. I thought he was in the Army.
They wouldn't take him.
Why not?
Punctured eardrums.
Oh. And I'll bet you that you're the one that 4F'd the guy. So he's trying to teach you again, huh?
Yeah, he has a new method now, the OPA method. He says all you have to remember when singing is OPA.
OPA?
Yeah. Open, please, the adenoids. Oh, boy. You just wait till Bing Crosby hears me.
Now, listen, Miss Duffy, when Crosby gets here, if you open one crummy adenoid... Trying to get the guy to buy a half an interest from your father.
Oh, Papa's partner. That's very interesting.
Miss Duffy, he's buying an interest only in a joint. You still belong to Daddy. Besides, the guy is married.
That's the trouble. Papa always has to have partners that are married.
What other partner of his is married?
Mama.
Harry Von Zell. Listen, talk to me, please, will you, before I completely retain my sanity? Just say anything so it makes some sense, huh?
Well, I know something that makes sense, Arch, a lot of sense.
Then go ahead, Harry, please.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you never know what the morning will bring you, do you? You never know, for instance, when you may wake up feeling dull and headachy due to the need of a laxative. And so it certainly pays you to remember this. When you do wake up feeling like that, it isn't necessary to put off taking that laxative till bedtime, no matter what your plans may be. Simply take Sal Hepatica at once. For then speedy Sal Hepatica brings very gentle relief, usually within an hour. So you can see you no longer have to wait till night to take the laxative needed in the morning, and consequently no longer have to risk going through the whole day feeling out of sorts. And don't forget, this famous saline has an additional advantage.
Sparkling Sal Hepatica also helps sweeten an upset stomach by helping to reduce excess gastric acidity.
So sometime soon, tonight if you can, stop at your drugstore for an economical bottle of Sal Hepatica. Remembering this, caution, use only as directed, then any time you know you need a laxative, morning, noon, or night. See if you don't feel better faster when you take gentle, speedy Sal Hepatica.
see. I got to figure out what this business is worth. Eddie, how many new customers would you say come in this place tonight?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3. And here comes number 4 on the outside, Bing Crosby.
Out of the money again. Well, Bing, welcome to Duffy's. How do you like the joint here?
Frankly, Archie, it warms the cockles of this peripatetic old troubadour's palpitator to find himself so unostentatiously ensconced within the sacred precincts of this Tanglefoot Emporium.
Oh. He pops out with them syllables like they were sons. Of course, I personally don't mind them big words, you know, but it ain't fair to people who don't understand them, you know.
Like who?
Like you. Well, leave us lay off. Now, if you want to use big words, I'll match your vocabulary. I'll match you anytime.
Okay, Archie, a truce, huh?
Right. Now, how do you like the joint here? Briefly.
Stinks.
You don't have to be that briefly. Well, your old man was down here last week. He liked the place.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pop always was a dive man. Old Tanker Crosby, they used to call him. Up in the Northwest. But by the way, he was a little embarrassed, Archie. He says he came away without paying his check.
Oh, well, tell the old gentleman to forget it. We'll add it on to yours. Eddie, get Mr. Crosby a steak. By the way, 20-center. He can afford it. By the way, Bing, your old man was saying how nice you on you. You know, how you all get along in your family.
Oh, yeah, Arch. We'd give each other the shirt off our backs.
And you still get along, huh?
Archie, are you knocking this creation that I'm affecting? Number?
Look, Crosby, in this neighborhood, there's 59 guys with lead pipes that's just looking for somebody with them cretations like that.
A little too sharp for you, huh?
Yeah, it's a little sharp. You see, now take me for contrast. Take the way I dress. You see these pants? Mm-hmm. Used to be part of a whole suit. You see, it's quiet, good taste, made out of genuine herringbones.
Herring, huh?
Yeah.
The knees look a little marinated, I thought.
Yeah. And now take my shirt, you know. Look at it. Simple, not a bit ostentatious, you know.
You got a cute idea there, too, that having the collars and the cuffs trimmed in black.
Landlady must have forgot to turn him over this week.
Steak coming up with Mr. Crosby.
Just a second. Is that a steak?
Yeah.
Put a couple of bucks on it to win, will you?
Now, if I was you, I'd just play at the show.
Eddie, maybe you better scratch it.
Hey, I'd like to meet Mr. Crosby.
Mr. Finnegan, Mr. Crosby. Mr. Finnegan.
Mr. Crosby, I'm glad to meet you. You know, I've been told that my voice sounds just like yours.
Who told you that?
Frank Sinatra. Oh, and Bing, this is Miss Duffy. Her voice also don't sound like yours.
How do you do?
Mr. Crosby, after all the pictures you made with Dorothy Lamour, it must be quite a shock for you to see a girl with her clothes on.
Well, I was shocked when I saw you, but I wasn't sure just what did it.
Did you like that sarong with Miss Lamour's when you first saw it?
Oh, I never gave it a second thought.
Oh, you didn't?
I was a little busy with the first thought.
Well, I think it's indecent. I wouldn't be seen wearing so little.
You got a lot more to cover than Lamour.
Archie, I have a lovely figure. Last week, Mr. Crosby's father's eyes nearly popped out.
Oh, you met Dad, huh?
Yeah, and he certainly is fine looking for a man of 40.
Would you hit me with that again? What was that?
He told me he was 40 years old.
20 years ago, yeah.
I bet you it was a lie about his etchings, too.
What did you do to my...
Look, Miss Duffy, would you mind answering the phone?
It isn't ringing.
It will. Give it time. Now, look, Bing, I want to talk a little business to you.
All right.
How long you been on that radio show of yours?
Around 15 years.
15 years. Bing, you're in a rut. Now, look, leave us be terse.
What are we going to be?
Terse. How would you like to buy a half interest in Duffy's?
Buy half of this place? Archie, I already own 2 stables.
Bing, are you calling this place a stable?
I was only kidding. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, that's different. Ain't been a horse in half the years. Now, look, Bing, as a restaurant man...
But, Archie, I really don't know anything about the restaurant business.
Well, you don't have to. When you buy half of Duffy's, you buy half of me.
Half of you? You say there hasn't been a horse in here in years?
No. You see, Bing, I'm included in Duffy's half of the deal, and I'm a fixture here, what they call the lock stock.
What about the barrel?
That's Mrs. Duffy. Now, Bing, with the floor show that I got in mind... Excuse me a minute. Hello? Hello, Duffy. Yeah, he's here. Huh? I just told him about it. Okay, Bing, the other half of the barrel.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Duffy. Well, I haven't met you, but I've seen your picture in the window, and in my... What'd you say? Do I think you look like Hope? No, I think you look a little more like Charity. What'd you say? A half interest in your place. Well, I'm half interested. How much do you want for it? You think I'm made of money? $300?
Give me the phone. Look, Duffy, don't be a robber. Huh? Well, about 200. Well, with Crosby singing here, I'll bet you no time the joint is worth at least 800. Huh? Why should you sell half of a business that's going to be worth 800 for 200? Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe if I explain to him how much business he'll bring in, he'll be willing to come up a little. Huh? Am I sure he'll sing? Well, if he's a partner, I don't see how you can stop him. Huh? First, you want to what? You want to what? I'll tell him. Bing, Duffy, like an audition.
What do you mean? Me audition for that bum?
Please, Bing, you're speaking of your partner. If the bum wants an audition, give it to him. Cool. Some music for Mr. Crosby, please.
How sweet you are, how sweet you are, how dear your tenderly smiling face. Through days all bitter and gray and grim, through nights when even the stars are dim, how sweet to know my heart can glow from just the warmth of your sweet embrace. The world's a lovelier world by far when I remember how sweet you are. A lovelier world by far when I remember how how sweet you are.
Hello, Duffy. What'd you think of him? You'd rather have a silent partner. Well, look, Duffy, give him another chance. Listen to him once more on this floor show that I wrote, huh? Okay, Duffy.
Hey, Arch, did I hear you say that you wrote a floor show?
Yep, Bing, and if Duffy likes it, you're in.
Now, how do I get out?
Say, Mr. Crosby, you look sort of pale. There are 7 of you Crosbys, aren't there? Well, maybe you're the one.
The one what?
The one person out of every 7 who this time of year usually suffers from a cold.
You know, Bing, if you had one more brother, we might have stopped him dead.
Yeah, but how then would we know what to do about that cold? So proceed with the good word, my good man.
Well, thank you, Mr. Crosby. If cold symptoms are making you miserable, ladies and gentlemen, your nose is stuffed up and there's that aching feeling in your muscles, the good word is Minute Rub. To help get relief quickly and easily, simply massage Minute Rub, modern chest rub, on your back and chest. Yes, that's all you do. And soon, in fact, even before you've finished, you'll feel a comforting sensation of warmth as Minute Rub gets to work, begins to soothe the discomfort and tightness caused by your cold.
And at the same time, Minute Rub's active menthol vapors help relieve that congested feeling in your nose and throat.
No need to worry about Minute Rub harming your clothes or linens. It's greaseless and it's stainless, too. So get after your cold symptoms with this nationally famous chest rub that takes only a minute to use, that helps bring such quick relief. Minute Rub, M-I-N-I-T-R-U-B. Minute Rub.
The floor show. Miss Duffy, Finnegan, you got your parts?
Archie, I just can't go through with this.
Why not, Bing?
Well, I've read your script, and I don't like to do tragedies.
This ain't no tragedy. Nobody's going to get killed.
You can have 8 to 5.
Look, Bing, don't worry about it. Now, let's go. Ready, everybody? Music, please. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Old Duffy Music Hall. This is your announcer, Ken Archie. And we now present yours truly, Bing, Call Up the Glue Factory, Crosby. Now, take it, Bing, and stick to the script.
Greetings and salutations to the Old Duffy Music Hall, where we gather to. Archie, is that the end of the sentence?
Of course. Wouldn't think of splitting up an infinitive. Continue.
Now that the Yuletide of Christmas is behooving upon us in 3 more semesters, and wherefore which in this Christmas purchasing season of gifts from one's fellow man to another, leave us be mindful in our Xmas shopping of the immoral words of Oh, Archie, I can't handle it. Can't do it.
Go ahead, read it.
The quality of Macy's is not strange.
play on words.
Great.
Come on. Let's go on with the show now.
Good evening, Bing.
Well, if it ain't our comedian. Hello, Jerky. Jerky. Say, Archie, shouldn't this be Yuki?
Take a look at him.
Hello, Jerky. Why were you riding in the park yesterday, side saddle?
Side saddle. Oh, because it was a female horse.
Hello, Duffy. You didn't get that joke? Well, it don't make no difference, Duffy. Any joke about Bing's horses is a belly laugh. Why? I don't know. Maybe on account of they run on their bellies. Okay, Duffy. On with the show.
Say, Bing.
Yes, Jerky?
You got 4 sons, ain't you?
Yes.
And Eddie Cantor's got 5 daughters, ain't he?
Indeed.
So why don't you have your 4 sons marry Cantor's 5 daughters?
But, Jerky, there would be one girl left over.
Well, somebody's got to take care of Jessel's mother.
Great dialogue, huh, Bing? I say great dialogue, huh, Bing? We now stop for station indemnification. Eddie? Okay, Bing, take it.
Well, once again, we're back in the good old Duffy Music Hall, the year 1912. Maybe perhaps you remember. The horse car had just replaced the cotton gin. Teddy Roosevelt had just climbed up Sam Wam's hill. And ladies' fashions were changing, too. The wedgie was fast replacing the bustle. You better take this, Archie.
Okay. Yes, in 1912, people in the street were singing an old ballad, which went,
down the old ox road. Though you'll never find out where it is by looking in maps.
By looking on the maps.
With a little investigation, you'll discover, perhaps, that this old tradition got a place is just a proposition called the old ox road.
I caught you in the stretch.
The old ox road.
Ah, yeah, the old ox road. How well I remember it. Takes me right back to good old North Virginia.
Away, down
the good old South.
River.
What memories. Magnolia blossoms floating in the moonlight. Little verandas running around the house. Yes, there was 12 of us little chitlins. Yes, I remember. Grandfather sitting rocking on his old family retainer. Yeah. Drinking them mint junipers. Ah, the South. Take it, Bing.
Ah, the South. How well I remember my mammy and pappy. Sitting by the old gin, a-spitting cotton.
Bing, that's spinning cotton.
Oh, yes. Mammy and Pappy spinning cotton. Mammy did the woofs and Pappy did the warps. And there they sat. Mammy all woofed and Pappy all warped. And then there was my little southern belle, Scarlett O'Duffy.
Hello, Red.
Hello, Scarlett.
You ready yet?
I'm all set.
Got my bags, Lulu Bet?
You bet. Come, Pet.
But I ain't it.
You have a crump, Pet.
Now I'm set.
Well, let's get.
Coming, Red.
Da-da-da-dum-dum-dum. Nice modulation.
Oh, beautiful. Should have modulated them trumpet players. Bing, I'll bet you never had no stuff like that on your program, huh?
No, a leopard gets better spots than this. When does this thing finish?
You're coming to your finish now.
You ain't just whacking your rack either, Jester.
And now we close the old Duffy Music Hall as a soft swell whoop of the horizon greets the dusk of a new equinox.
Waits for me and the blue of her eyes meets the gold.
Hello, Duffy. How'd you like it? Putrid, huh? Well, Duffy, is it my fault if Crosby can't act? Well, how about the deal? Huh? Has he got the money with him? Probably. Why? Tell him what? Duffy, I think it would be nicer if I told him to buy war bonds with it. Okay, I'll handle it. Hold the phone. Bing.
Yes?
Bing, you see, Duffy's kind of attached to this place.
Oh, you mean the deal is off?
Yeah.
Archie!
Hey.
Now look what you did, Duffy. It's the first time I was ever kissed by a crooner.
Well, folks, it's about time to leave Duffy's for the evening, but before we go, we want you to know that Bing Crosby is soon to be seen in the Paramount picture Going My Way. Righto, Bing. Let's all meet here again next week when our guests will be Dinah Shore and Joan Davis. And in the meantime, if you have a cold...
Remember Minute Rub.
If you need a laxative...
Remember Sal Hepatica.
And if you have a half hour next Tuesday evening at this same time, remember...
Duffy's, where the elite meet the eat. Archie the manager speaking. Yeah, Duffy, that's right. Next week, Dinah Shore and Joan Davis. Yeah, Duffy. Bride and Grim. Yeah. So long.
Mothers, 1 minute doesn't seem like much, does it? And yet, well, if your child is suffering from miserable cold symptoms, you can help a lot in just 1 minute. For that's all it takes to massage Minute Rub, modern chest rub, on your youngster's back and chest. Then Minute Rub goes to work to help bring soothing relief from your boy or girl's cold discomfort. And remember, Minute Rub's vapors will also help relieve that stuffed-up feeling in nose and throat.
Minute Rub is greaseless, stainless.
Get after your child's cold symptoms with this famous modern chest rub, Minute Rub. M-I-N-I-T-R-U-B. Minute Rub. This is the Blue Network.
Quiet, everybody. Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet the eat. Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy. I guess who's coming down tonight? The man who made musical criticism a household word. No, not President Truman. There was no household word. No, it's Deems Taylor. Deems. You know, like in Deems, Dem and Does. You never heard of him. But Duffy's an institution. Deems is to American music what au gratin is to cheese. Look, Duffy, remember when we used to turn on the radio and listen to them dull concerts, you know? Well, he's the guy that used to liven them up with that dull talk. That's the guy, yeah, from the Philharmonica. It was his job to kind of blab about what was going on the stage, sort of a combination of stool pigeon and peeping Tom. Huh? Oh, yes, very distinguished, you know, austere and dignified, aristocratic, bald-headed. Yeah, bald as a bat. He's the only actor on television that can get away with showing more flesh than Dagmar. Well, he's coming down tonight to listen to an opera I wrote for television. Look, Duffy, a crude, vulgar sound like that don't make you no Deems Taylor. So many people don't seem to like television. Well, let's see here. I better check this opera to see if I made any mistakes. Let's see. Act 1. The curtain rises.
That's your first mistake.
Quiet, Bats. As the opera opens, the Duke has lost his entire fortune. As he comes home from his mother's funeral, he learns that his son has been run over by a beer truck. So, racked with fever and malaria, he walks into his house, and he finds his wife in the arms of his best friend. So, turning to the audience, he stabs himself with his dagger as he sings, "Oh, what a beautiful morning." Well, that part's okay. I just wonder what I should call this opera. What would be a good title for an opera, Fats?
Longren?
Yeah, that sounds a little corny.
How about Pagliacci?
No, it don't sound like it'd be a name that would catch on.
How about Figaro?
Don't be silly. That's a fertilizer.
Well, we're getting close.
What do you mean? Don't mind, when I want lousy criticism, I'll ask Deems Taylor for it.
Who's Deems Taylor?
Who is Deems Taylor? He only happens to be such a big name in the music world, he has his own key to the washroom at the Met. That's one guy that knows everything there is to know about music.
Yeah? Then why ain't he got his own band?
Fats, he's a critic. You know, the guy ain't got no talent himself. He's just an authority. He tells other people what's wrong with them, you know. He can take any opera, say like Tannenbaum, you know. He can tell you exactly how many notes there is on page 16.
Suppose nobody asked him.
Deems is the type of man who will tell them anyway. Yep, he can even tell you anything you want to know about any composer, living or dead. Oh, hello, Finnegan.
Hey, what's that you're writing?
I'm knocking out an opera.
Oh. Say, Arch, could you use a good soprano?
Who's the soprano?
Me.
Finnegan, in order to be a soprano, you got to be a dame.
Oh, then it wouldn't be worth it.
You were singing.
What's the matter, Sing? I've been studying.
You want to hear me sing up the scale?
Perish forbid.
Oh, listen.
That was up the scale. Now, leave me hear you sing down the scale. Oh, his voice ain't bad, but he's got a horrible sense of direction.
Well, Art, you can't have everything.
Look, who learned you to sing like that anyhow, Miss Duffy?
No, was you Miss Duffy? I learned it from listening to the birds.
To the birds?
Exactly. Birds can sing better than anybody.
Birds can sing. What are you talking? People can sing rings around birds anytime.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Take Lily Punch. She can hit an F above a high C.
While balancing herself on a telephone wire?
Well...
Or scratching herself behind the ear with her left leg?
Okay, Finnegan, you made your point. Nothing, the hard way. Now, leave me get back to my opera. Now, let me see.
Hello, Archie.
Oh, hello, Miss Duffy. Don't bother me here for a minute. I'm busy, huh? As the curtain goes up, revealing the second cadenza, our hero enters.
You know, Archie, everything you write always has the stamp of your personality on it.
Yeah?
Your work is always so... what's the word?
Individual?
No.
Unique?
No.
Imaginative?
No.
I'm afraid your vocabulary is lousy.
That's the word, lousy. Now, if you ask me...
I ain't asking you. What do women know about composing music anyhow?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Could I take part in this conversation?
All right, Finnegan. What do you want to say?
Oh, yeah?
Miss Duffy, I defy you if you can name me one great woman composer who was a member of the female sex.
A great suggestion box.
Well, horror, yeah, but... But that's just one. Let me see you name another.
Kataruski.
Kataruski was a guy.
I am referring to his mother. She was a woman.
What's that got to do with it?
Who do you think beat him so he'd learn to play the piano?
Oh, why do I waste big time?
Archie, you seem to forget that I have a musical background.
Only when you're standing in front of a jukebox. Where did you get a musical background?
From my grandfather.
Your grandfather?
Yeah. He was a musician.
A musician? He was an organ grinder on a hurdy-gurdy. Some musician.
Just a minute. In Daniel Webster's dictionary, a musician is defined as one who produces music, right?
So?
What do you think came out of that hurdy-gurdy? Chopped liver?
Okay, so your grandfather was another McRananoff.
He was better. I'd like to see how good McRananoff could play with a cop chasing him down the street.
Or sitting on a telephone wire scratching his hair with his left leg. So this is what you call a musical background, huh?
How about Papa?
What about him?
He's always singing.
Your old man always sings?
Certainly. Every time he's in the bathtub.
And he'd be much better off if he sang oftener.
Oh, yeah? Have you ever heard him sing Sweet Adeline?
Only once, a duet with a lamppost. The lamppost sounded better. Let's see. As the curtain goes up, the Duke has stabbed everybody on the stage. So, not wishing to go out into the audience, he now stabs himself. As he gasps for breath, he pulls up his sleeve, and there, to his surprise, he finds a birthmark. It is a Salisbury strawberry. Be good cat, he yells. I am my own half-brother.
Oh, Mr. Archie.
Yeah, Fats?
You want to taste this soup to see if it's all right?
Okay. Tastes all right.
I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you one thing, Archie.
What?
You are sipping it in E-flat.
Deems Taylor! Well, Deems, glad to see you back at the tavern again. How does the whole place look to you?
Well, now I know how Orpheus felt in Hades.
This I ain't acquainted with. Have you any other observations?
Well, I must compliment you on one thing, Archie.
What's that?
The way you've arranged the customers in such neat piles.
I suppose you're used to the Metropolitan where they sleep sitting up. But don't underestimate this place, James. You know something?
What?
Irving Berlin himself sat at this very table, and he himself wrote that music right there on that tablecloth.
Oh, that's what it is on that tablecloth. Let me see. Very interesting. Ouch!
What happened?
One of the half notes just jumped off the table and bit my hand.
Guess it was just professional jealousy.
Well, this has all been very delightful. Now I think I'll go.
Go! But you just got here.
Can you think of a better time?
But we ain't even chit-chatted, Deems. Tell me, what you been doing? You been working on FM?
FM?
Yeah, television. You should be great on it, huh?
Well, to be frank, I am rather photogenic.
Well, everybody's scared at first. I understand that even when Milton Berle started, his hair stood right on... You wouldn't have to worry about that.
Archie, please, I'm a little sensitive about my departed pompadour.
Oh, sorry.
It's a rather sad chapter in my life.
Yeah, sensitive, huh? Well, then, leave us not talk about it.
Thank you.
Not at all. Not at all. We'll talk about something else.
Yes.
Tell me, how'd you get so baldy, Deems?
Well, I gave my hair to my profession.
You gave your hair to your profession?
Yes, I was attending a rehearsal of an Indian opera. Naturally, I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I was scalped.
Well, you can't say the Indian wasn't thorough. But being a thoughtless mine host, how about a bite to eat, Deems? Fats, take Mr. Taylor's order, huh?
What have you, Fats?
Well, would you like the 30-cent dinner or the 50-cent dinner?
What's the difference?
With the 50-cent dinner, you get a fly swatter.
Give me the 50-cent dinner. I need the exercise.
What is it, Finnegan?
Who's the guy with the crew haircut?
Hey, the crew bailed out. Finnegan, come in. This happens to be Deems Taylor, and he's very sensitive about it, his lack of no hair, see? So remember, don't mention hair when you're talking to him.
Oh, not a word. I leave it to me. Well, Deems Taylor, as I live and breathe.
Oh, you do, don't you? And simultaneously, too.
Hey, Arch, is it okay to talk to the guy?
Yeah, only remember what I told you.
I got you. A nice day today, ain't it?
Certainly is.
My, but you're looking well.
Why, thank you.
Tell me, who does your scalp? What's the matter? Did I let it slip?
Talk to the guy about something else. Talk about music.
Oh, okay. Say, Mr. Taylor, why do I always get you confused with Spike Jones?
Because you're a jerk.
Oh, that's it. I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
No, Archie, you're much too intolerant. Finnegan has to be treated with understanding and patience. Finnegan, my friend.
Yeah?
Spike Jones is an exponent of jazz and musical burlesque.
Oh.
While I, on the other hand, am what they call a long hair.
What'd you do, leave it home?
Archie, what was that word you used a moment ago?
Jerk.
Thank you. Finnegan, you're a jerk. Beat it.
Boy, James.
I say, Archie, this is a surprise. I knew you had a piano here, but I didn't know it was a baby grand.
I beg your pardon.
James, this is Miss Duffy.
Oh.
The piano's the one over there with the shapely legs.
So you're Deems Taylor, the well-known critic.
That's right.
So what have you got to be so critical about?
Miss Duffy, that's his job. The guy criticizes music.
Do you hate music?
No, I love it.
Then why criticize it? Why don't you criticize architecture?
Really, I haven't the slightest interest in architecture.
That's right. Throw Katrinka Yarbutz's mother out of work.
Katrinka Yarbutz's mother?
She's a steeplejack.
How did Katrinka Yarbutz get into this?
Huh, I suppose she's not welcome just because she's from Lithuania.
Miss Duffy, look, I'm only trying to tell you that my field is music.
So what's wrong with the music from Lithuania?
Miss Duffy, please, let's drop the subject and go on to something, shall I say, more important.
Well, I know it's mean, but frankly, you're much too old for me. In fact, you remind me of my father.
Well, that makes us even. You remind me of my father.
Look, Miss Duffy, you have just been exited. Now, look, Deems, I got a little surprise for you.
Another?
Yep. Yeah, I guess a lot of morons come to you with operas they have written, huh?
Oh, that's right. Where's yours?
Right here. And it's the first opera ever wrote for television. It's years ahead of its time.
I can wait.
But I can't. So, why don't you take it over in the corner and read it, you know, just quiet-like.
Couldn't I scream just once?
Well, if the mood seizes you.
Let me look at this. You say you wrote this opera for television?
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to do? Bring back radio? Say, Archie.
Yeah, Deems.
It says here on the opera, written by Archini. Is that you?
Good. I figured Archie was too plain for opera, so I decided to adopt a musical name, you know, a metronome. Well, tell me, Deems, did you look over the opera?
Yes.
What do you think of it?
Well, considering the fact that you never went to school, it's horrible.
Look, Deems, you're just looking at the raw music. It'll sound better when you hear yourself singing it.
I would rather drop dead.
Not until the second act. Well, what do you say? Will you sing it, yes or no?
No.
No, huh? Deems, I got 23 more bald-headed jokes.
You have?
Yeah. Glad to have you in the cast. Now, here, Finnegan, Miss Duffy, here's your parts. Fats, you're the orchestra. Overture, please. Thank you. Ladies and gents, I am honored to present a new opera wrote by my esteemed self. This opera tells the story of an ancient and royal Italian family named the Pastos and their enemies, the Antipastos. The part of Prince Cacciatore Pasto will be sung by Mr. Deems Taylor, our eminent contemporary and mezzo barracuda. Now, the part of his sweetheart, Princess Vermicelli Antipasto, will be sung by the well-known lyric falsetto and popular cashier and girl after men about town, Miss Duffy. Thank you. And now the house lights dim and the curtain rises on the first libretto.
Oh, Cacciatore, how can I live without you?
Oh, Vermicelli, I'm so mad about you.
Oh, Moon.
Oh, Joan.
Egad.
Boy, is this bad.
Please, Mr. Taylor. Tonight, you are not a critic. You are merely a broken-down opera singer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Granted.
Oh, what a tragedy.
This you are telling me.
Here, shall we laugh or cry?
You laugh, and I will cry.
Ha, 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 ho, ho.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho.
Some tragedy.
Archie.
Yeah?
This music.
Yes?
It's La Donna Immobile.
Thanks, and it gets even better. Continue, orchestra.
Oh, princess. Oh, princess. A man cometh through the forest.
It's my trusty servant, an old family container.
Oh, princess, princess, whither art thou?
I wither here. Whither art thou? What hides you hence?
I come tying sad berries, tying bad berries. I get, you know, I got news for you. Princess, your old man, the Baron Gorgonzola Antipasto, approaches forthwith. He has found out that you are in love with this son of a mortal enemy.
Oh, quickly, Cacciatore, we must flee. Flee, 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 flee. Stop tragedy.
It is too late to flee, my love. Here's your father now. Well, where is our old man?
Finnegan, you're the father, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hello, my daughter. What are you doing with this son of the man I hate? Prince Cacciatore, whither is your father?
I wither right here, Antipasto. Wouldst make order of it?
Now, please, those things, Pop.
Pasto, I hate you.
And I hate you.
Oh, I hate you.
And I hate you.
I hate you more than you hate me.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do. We hate each other with a love.
Antipasto.
Yes, Pasto.
Didst thou bring thou swords?
I did.
Wouldst fight?
Wouldst.
Then, sir, on guard.
Ooh.
Stop them, Cacciatore, before they sunder each other from limb to limb.
I cannot, Vermicelli, lest they will sunder me.
Then I will stop them, though it cost me my bloody life.
Gazooks! The princess has run betwixt them. She has just been stabbed on stage left. Okay, Miss Duffy. There's your cue. Drop dead.
Oh.
Tis the death rattle. I fear I have stabbed your daughter to the quick.
No, Pasto. Thee have stabbed thine own daughter.
What, yea, verily?
Yes.
What I allow, doest thou sayest, thou man?
Tis the truth I speak, Pasto. I am the old nurse. And when the prince and princess were mere babes in arms, I got them all mixed up one day.
Thou mixest them up?
Yeah, I mixed them up. I got them all mixed up. I couldn't tell them apart. I got them all mixed up. I mixed them up.
They mixed us up. Then, Vermicelli, I am you.
Yes, Cacciatore, and I am you.
And he is she.
And she is he.
And he went.
Stop it. Don't massacre this noble music. Now, go ahead, Miss Duffy. Will you please resume dying?
Oh, Cacciatore, I am dying. My tide is ebbing fast away.
Oh, Princess, per favore, do not leave me.
I'm sorry, my prince, but the time has come when I must die.
Tell us why.
For Gabriel blows his horn and I...
Please don't die.
Oh, Princess, don't leave me like this.
Oh, no, you can't just die and leave the prince like this.
I've got to go.
Oh, no.
Yes, I must go.
Oh, no.
Yes, I must go.
Oh, no.
Yes, I must go.
No. Then she is not the only one. There goes Deems.
At all he can stand, it seems.
Come back, Deems. No, Archie, I must leave methinks. But first I'd like to say that this here opera... Deems!
Hello? Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Special today, pig pickle feast. Archie speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, must be 3 or 4 customers here already. You hear that, Duffy? You're in business again. Listen, Duffy, you picked out a very bad time to call up. Yeah, we're just going to go on the air for a broadcast. Now, wait a minute, Duffy. Don't get all excited. It ain't costing a cent. No, the network's doing it for prestige. Well, now, Duffy, I can't brandy words with you now. We're just going on the air, I'm telling you. Goodbye, Duffy. I'll see you later.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mel Allen. Forecast invites you to join us for a decidedly informal evening at Duffy's Tavern, where anyone under the sun is likely to drop in any time to talk things over with Archie. Almost anyone may drop in tonight. Now, people who are sure will be around, however, are Gertrude Neeson, Colonel Stoopnagle, Larry Adler, and John Kirby's orchestra. And now I turn you over to that past master of ceremonies, Archie.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the voice of Duffy's Tavern speaking, formerly Duffy's Bar and Grill and still owned by the same proprietorship. And we take great pride in presenting them great musicians, John Kirby and his High Schoolians. They offer their own version of Royal Garden Blues. You will note that in the second chorus, the piccolo player hits a note so high that it can only be heard by a dog. Mr. Kirby. Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat the special today, pig's pickle feet. Oh, hello, boss. Hey, how'd you like Kirby's band? They what? Duffy, they do not. Well, I see what you mean. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is it, Archie? It's Duffy, Mr. Kirby. He says he thinks the band is great. All right, Duffy, I know. I can't tell a guy that, though. You don't understand artists, Duffy. You know, they're much more insensible than you and me. You gotta tolerate them. But Duffy, you haven't liked nothing since Chauncey Olcott cracked up on Mother McCree. You're living in a graveyard full of Irish tenants. Wait a minute, Duffy. Gertrude Neeson, no floor show just walked in. What? All right, I'll tell her. I'll speak to you later. Good evening, Miss Neeson.
Hi, Archie.
Say, Miss Neeson, I hate to, I hate to bury sleeping dogs, but Duffy has been complaining about you.
Oh, what's old Novocaine brain talking about now?
Well, he claims you insulted his best customer, Mr. Feldevik K. Beldorf. Was you out to dinner with Beldorf last night?
Yes, and I'll never go out with that crumb again.
Huh?
You know what happened? He asked me to go out to dinner last night, so I go with him. Well, you know how I never like a strange man to pay for my meals.
Yeah, I know.
So I said to him, Mr. Beldorf, I insist that this dinner should be Dutch. But he said he absolutely wouldn't hear of it.
Well, that's nice.
He said I had to pay for him, too.
That's Beldorf, so what did you do?
Oh, I did what any lady would do. I broke a plate over his head.
What else could you do?
Well, frankly, as man to man, do you think that breaking a plate of soup over a guy's head should be construed as an insult?
No, but Beldorf's a little hypersensitive. Don't like those things. I'll explain it to Duffy, though. By the way, Duffy ain't never heard them golden tones of yours, Miss Neeson. You know, I've told him about you being a great star of the movies and the radio, and when I mentioned that you have been on the stage, he says he had one request.
Look, Archie, even to please Duffy, I will not recite Casey at the bat.
Well, all right, then. But would you mind rendering the customers with a song?
All right, I'll do something especially for Mr. Duffy. Does he rumba?
An amusing question, Miss Neeson. Proceed ahead.
Bailar con la rumba negra marina de Roma.
His little knowledge, quite good. Maybe it won't help you, but it should. You cannot travel unless you know how not to say yes. That inspirational, so sensational, oh sensational, yes. In Spain they say, si, si. In France they say, oui, oui. Every little Dutch girl says, ja, ja. Every little Russian says, da, da. Well, sweetheart, tell me why. No matter how I try, you won't do my plea, you won't say yes in any language to me. Why don't you say, si, all the monkeys in the tree, they don't have to say, si. All they do is wag their little tail. That's a little gag that never fails. But, sweetheart, tell me why. No matter how I try, you won't listen to my plea. You won't say yes in any language to me. Why don't you say, si, in any language to me. Why don't you say, or maybe you say, why don't you say,
excuse me. Good evening. Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat today's special pig's pickle feast. Archie speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, it's you again, Duffy. Say, Duffy, do I have to say that poem you made up every time I answer the phone? All right, I'll say it. Only we're going to be in trouble when the special is corned beef hash. Say, by the way, what did you think of Gertrude Nathan singing? What? Well, gee, Duffy, some people like her. What? A little more pizzicato. All right, I'll tell her. He says you should have sang louder, Miss Nathan.
Let me have that phone. So, you didn't like my singing, Mr. Duffy. And you're the greatest living authority on Irish tenors. You call what you're doing living? Oh, so your wife says a girl who sings like I do would smoke cigarettes. Listen, you crummy old broken-down barfly, you miserable no-good four-flushing... What? Yes, you can call me Gertrude. And furthermore, lame brain, if I had the wings of an angel, I'd beat your brains out with them. Goodbye.
Hello, Duffy. What's new? Duffy, you and your Irish tenors. Wait a minute, Jay. Colonel Stoopnagle just come in there. Good evening, Colonel.
Harding, Screechy.
Oh, how are you tonight, Colonel?
Oh, I'm in pretty good shape for the shape I'm in. That is, considering my shape.
That's pretty good. Have a cigar, Colonel?
Yes, I have.
Thanks. I'll be right with you, Colonel. Have a seat. Hello, Duffy. The Colonel's got a look in his eye like a $3 porterhouse. If I play my cards right, maybe I can sell him a slice off of that Kansas City steer you've been saving for inflation. Well, listen, Duffy, that steer ain't getting no younger. Okay, see you later. Well, Colonel, you sure are a sight to give a person sore eyes. Here, let me take your hat and shotgun. Been to a wedding?
Huh?
Been to a wedding?
No, Archie, I've been hunting ducks.
Hey, Nimrod, would you mind not pointing that shotgun at my head? I just had my hair done.
Pardon me, madam, but you don't have to be afraid of this fowling piece, unless you happen to be a duck.
Well, she don't happen to be no duck, Colonel. She happens to be a canary. Colonel Stoopnagle, this is Chanteuse, Miss Gertrude Nathan.
How do you do? I'm sure.
Well, I haven't seen you in a long time. You're putting on quite a front stoop, Nagel.
better give me that foul piece, Colonel, and I'll put it out of harm's way.
Hey, careful of that, Archie. That's no ordinary shotgun.
It ain't, huh?
It's what I call a sawed-on shotgun.
Oh.
You will also observe that it's made with one barrel on top of the other instead of side by side. It's for shooting ducks who happen to be riding piggyback.
That's certainly a very clever blundering bust, Colonel.
Blundering bust. Oh, yes. And here's another startling feature about it. One barrel is loaded with bullets, and the other barrel is loaded with nothing.
Loaded with nothing? Why is that?
Well, the loaded one's for shooting ducks, and the unloaded one is for not shooting innocent bystanders.
Oh.
Say, Archie, how about that steak for the Colonel?
Oh, yeah, thanks for reminding me. Say, Colonel, we got a steak here we've been saving especially for you.
Archie, now you're talking. After that duck hunt, I could eat a horse.
Colonel, you have plate and order. Next, that saddle steak for Colonel Stoopnagle.
Want me to ride it in, boss?
No, just slap it on the rump and hold the kitchen door open. It'll walk you. Oh, good evening, Officer Clancy. What'll it be, the usual absence frappe?
Never mind that. Who belongs to the blue sedan parked outside, next to the fire hydrant?
Well, what's wrong with that? It's my own fire hydrant.
Now, listen, you.
Now, you listen, Clancy. You're supposed to be a friend of Duffy. Why do you always come in here annoying the customers?
You listen here, Archie, and don't be giving me no back talk. You keep your customers obeying the law, or I'll close you up.
Well, you can't close us up. We ain't got a license.
Yeah, but I know. Well, don't let it happen again.
Okay, Clancy. Holy smoke, Colonel. If he ever finds out we really got a license, we're going to be in trouble.
Well, don't worry, Archie. I've got a pull with the mayor. I can arrange to have your license revoked.
Oh, thanks. Thanks very much, Miss Mason.
Oh, nothing at all.
Say, Archie.
Yes, Colonel.
Could I interest you in this thing here that I've just invented?
Well, what is it, Colonel? To me, it looks just like a door.
A door? It is. It's a bathroom door that you don't have to wait outside of.
You don't have to wait outside of. Well, why is that, Colonel?
Because it opens into a closet.
Gosh, Colonel, you sure have got a furtive mind. I'll bet you'd have a million suggestions how to improve this place.
Well, I have one idea you might use, Archie. I've just invented a brand new drink. It's made by brewing malt and yeast and hops together, and the result is a tangy, golden liquid with a frothy head on it.
But, Colonel, we got that here. That's beer.
That's odd. That's what I call mine.
Now, wait a minute, Colonel. Beer was invented more than 2,000 years ago.
Really? It seems like only yesterday.
Say, Colonel, have you ever tried your hand at inventing an Irish tenor?
Why?
Well, Duffy says either I either get an Irish tenor or I'm fired.
My boy, never despair. I, Colonel Lemuel Q. Stoopnagle, am an Irish tenor.
Aretha, we're saved. Oh, but wait a minute. Duffy only likes Irish tenors.
Ah, sure, me own mother was a queen of the queens of County Down.
Ah, she was indeed. Indeed, she was. How well I remember me mother and I.
Colonel.
Over in the cold
Hey, Colonel.
Outdoor water.
Hey, Colonel. Colonel, can you sing with a kind of a catch in your voice, maybe?
Listen, Archie, when you hear me sing My Wild Irish Rose, you'll hear the lakes of Killarney. You'll hear the Shannon River flowing softly down to the sea. You'll hear the lilt of Irish laughter, the salt of Irish tears, the beat of brave Irish hearts, and the wail of the Irish banshee.
Oh, she was indeed. Indeed, she was. See what I mean, Archie?
Yeah, that's just what I'm afraid of. If it ain't done right, Duffy will be on that phone quicker than Jack Robinson and tear the roof off me.
Ah, don't worry about a thing, Archie. This will be magnificent. To the pipe, Mr. Kirby. My wild Irish rose.
Colonel, I think you better stop. Oh.
You may look here.
Hello? This is Finnegan's Pharmacy. This is Finnegan, the pharmacist speaking. All right, Duffy, don't get so excited. All right, well, he stopped, didn't he? What? Oh, Duffy. Well, that ain't possible. No, Duffy, it is not possible. All right.
Hey, what was that, Archie?
It's nothing. We had a request, that's all.
Well, I'm always glad to oblige. What was the request?
Never mind. You couldn't do it.
Say, Archie. Say, Archie. Look who just came in. You know Larry Adler, the harmonica player.
Why, sure. How are you, Mr. Adler? Glad to see you.
Hello, Archie. Nice seeing you again.
Say, Archie, you know Larry Adler happens to be the finest harmonica player in the world. You think Duffy would like a sample of his talent?
That Duffy don't want guys with talent. He wants Irish tenors.
Well, Archie, if it'll help at all, I know a million Irish tunes.
Hey, Mr. Adler. Do you know Danny Boy? Duffy always liked that one.
Sure, me boy. Oh, I know it 12.
Okay. Well, let's take a chance on Mr. Adler. But, Mr. Allen, when you announce him, you know, there's no use confusing Duffy about the man's name. You know what I mean.
Yeah. I get it, Andy. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Boy, played on the harmonica by the world's greatest harmonica virtuoso, Larry O'Adler.
That could be Duffy. Hello? You liked him? You really did, huh, Duffy? Oh, well, that's swell. Sure you can hear him on record. Yeah, you're right, Duffy. Nothing like an Irish harmonica player. What? Buy a drink for the house. Are you sure this is Duffy? Well, all right, Duffy, that's fine. Okay. Folks, Duffy's buying a drink for everybody. Did you hear that, Nick?
I heard it, but I don't believe it.
Well, it's true. And by the way, Nick, Duffy says close up the free lunch until the thing blows over.
Yeah, boss. That's more like Duffy. Here you are, folks. Drink hearty. It's on Duffy.
Well, you can quote me as being astounded. Ah.
Hey, don't often get Duffy in such a monogamous mood. Well, here goes.
Needlebeard. Seems like old times. Which reminds me, Archie, whatever became of your old friend Two-Top Gruskin?
Two-Top Gruskin? What is it?
It isn't a net. It's a guy. He's a two-headed baseball pitcher. He can watch first base and third base at the same time.
You say he had 2 heads?
Certainly had 2 heads, Miss Neeson. What's so strange about Two-Top having 2 heads?
Oh, there's nothing strange about it. But Two-Top Gruskin.
Well, his real name is Athos and Porthos Gruskin. But they nicknamed him Two-Top, I suppose on account of him having 2 heads.
Very original.
Yeah, what did become of Two-Top?
Oh, he got married.
Happily?
Well, as he always shakes his head when you ask him, is he happily married? Yes and no.
Well, why is that, Archie?
Well, it all started the night that Two-Top's wife, whose maiden name was Inez Harrigan before she was married, the night that she met Two-Top at the dollar beer racket and masquerade ball down here at Duffy's Bar and Grill. You know, the old place.
Oh, yeah.
Duffy announces that first prize for the best masquerade costume is going to be a free drink on the house, which, as you know, is a very rare offer from Duffy, outside of on St. Patrick's Day. Whatsoever, let's not digress. Anyway, the masquerade gets rolling, and there's terrific competition for the free drink when all of a sudden in comes the big piece of resistance himself. He comes in. Two-Top Gruskin himself. He comes as a pair of bookends.
As a pair of bookends?
Yeah, with a book between his 2 heads. A book his mother gave him. A little book his mother gave him called My Son, My Son.
I get it, boss. I get it. She knew him like a book, eh, boss?
That's good, Nick. But let's not have no more of that. Well, anyway, when midnight comes, the judges give the first prize to the bookends. And when he takes off his mask, everybody is amazed to see that the winner is Two-Top. That's how he met Inez. When he takes his mask off, she gives him a quick glance, and then she turns around again and gives him another glance to confirm the first glance. And right away, it was love at first sight. But she says to me later, I don't know, Archie, there was just something different about him. Says, I guess it's that he was so tall, blonde, and brunette. Well, Two-Top falls for Inez, too, and it ain't 10 minutes before he's playing I Love You Truly on a harmonica and kissing her at the same time. So, finally, he proposes marriages to her.
Bigamy, huh?
Yeah. So Inez says, okay, Two-Top, after all, twice a loaf is better than none. Hello, Duffy. You changed your mind. You've been thinking it over and you don't like Adler. But, Duffy, no, you can't take back free drinks after people have drank the drink. No, it's neither practical nor ethnical. But listen, Duffy, will you forget Chauncey old card? I'm in the middle of a story. Yeah, I'll call you back later. That's Duffy, no restraint. Well, anyway, as I was saying, Two-Top is so happy about Inez marrying him that he quick goes over to the bar to celebrate. So Duffy puts first prize to drink on the house down in front of him. But Harold, the bartender, says, don't you think it's pretty cheap, Duffy, giving a 2-headed guy just 1 drink? So Duffy says, okay, I'll be a sport. I'll give the other head the chaser.
Sounds a bit parsimonious, Archie.
Oh, yes, well, fella. Well, Two-Top takes the drink, see? But it seems he takes it with the head that he inherited from his father's side of the family. And the first thing you know, he can't stop drinking. Well, the head that's drinking the chasers tries to control him, but it's no use. So finally, the sober head winks at Duffy and says, better slip my Mickey, Duffy. Well, then the trouble really starts. Duffy, who's a little nearsighted, makes a mistake, and he puts the Mickey into the chaser. Well, in no time, both the Two-Top's heads is out like light. Well, with this, Inez gets mad and she hollers, you're drunk. So as one man, Two-Top comes 2, or rather he comes 4, and he says, who's drunk? So she says, you are. You on the left. Says, come on, Porthos, I'll marry you, but I never want to see that other face again. And that's why, Colonel, to this day, if you ask Two-Top, is he a happy married man, he always nods one head yes and shakes the other head no.
Archie, that's a wonderful story. You're a natural-born raconteur.
Thanks, I think. But I'll be a natural-born corpse if I don't get an Irish tenor for Duffy.
Say, Archie.
Oh, are you here again, Clancy?
Yes, it's the last time I tell you to get that car away from the fire hydrant.
Oh, Clancy, don't... Clancy, do you by any chance know any Irish tenors?
Sure, and I'm an Irish tenor myself.
Clancy Olcott.
What's that, Miss Neeson?
Clancy Olcott. If you can make an O-Adler out of an Adler, why can't Clancy be Clancy Olcott?
But Olcott's dead.
Does Duffy know that?
Well, probably not. He still insists that John L. Sullivan is the heavyweight champion of the world.
You see what I mean, Archie?
Eureka, Miss Neeson. I think you've given me the mucus of an idea. Clancy, do you know when Irish eyes are smiling?
Certainly.
Well, what are we waiting for? Give me that microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, Duffy's Tavern takes great pride and pleasure in presenting, at the exclusive request of Mr. Duffy himself, that celebrated Irish tenor, the Olcott.
When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring. In the leaves of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all this world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away.
Hello, Duffy. You liked it, huh? Well, it's about time you heaped in a comium at me. What? Ah, Duffy. What do you know? He's fine. Always tries when he hears an Irish tenor. Ah, now, Duffy, please. Oh, stop, Duffy, stop. Of course we all love you, Duffy. Everybody loves you. Ah, the world ain't against you. Oh, for the love of Mike, Duffy, it ain't true. I tell you, we love you like I was our own son.
And that will give you a rough idea of what Duffy's Tavern will be like when and if it reaches the air regularly. Tonight's program, like each forecast show, is intended as a sample broadcast, an illustration of what you may expect of Duffy's Tavern if it eventually becomes a weekly radio feature. If you want to hear more from Archie, from Gertrude Neeson, from John Kirby's orchestra, and from the never audible but always active Duffy himself, write to CBS and tell us so. Your applause will help to make Duffy's Tavern a weekly broadcast feature.
Next week, Forecast will present a full-hour show from Hollywood, a large-scale musical variety program called Of Stars and States. The cast, headed by John Bowles, will include Virginia Vale, Nan Gray, Arthur Q. Bryan, and Governor Leo Daniel of Texas. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Special Service Division invites you soldiers, sailors, and Marines of the United Nations to drop in at Duffy's Tavern.
Hello, Duffy's. Where do you leave me? Deed, Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Hey, Duffy, you know who we got coming here tonight? Susan Hayward and Frank Buck. Huh? Well, Hayward knocks him dead and Buck brings him back alive. Huh? What does Susan Hayward look like? Well, Duffy, remember the first letter Mrs. Duffy wrote you? Yeah, before she hooked you. Remember it was a letter describing herself to you? Well, Susan actually looks like that. Frank Buck, well, he looks more like Mrs. Duffy. Hey, Duffy, if I got married, say to this Hayward dame, would you give me a raise? A raise? A raise! Would you lower my salary? Now you can hear me, huh?
look. I make $15 a week. Say with overtime, tips, and bonuses, it comes to $15 a quarter. How can I support a wife and family on that dough? Huh? Send one of the kids out to work. What kids? I ain't even held a hand yet. Oh, why argue with you? Listen to this, Miss Duffy. A poem to nature by Anonymous, Archie. Oh, Mother Nature, how could anybody hate you?
What are you talking about?
Nature, Miss Duffy. You know, you ain't lived till you've slept out in the open with the earth for a pillow and a blue sky for a blanket.
Archie, have you been locked out of your room again?
Certainly not. I just happen to be a guy with red hemoglobins in his blood. A guy that likes to get away from civilization once in a while.
Why?
Because it brings out the real me. That's why. Besides, I read in this movie magazine that Susan Hayward goes for the back to nature type of guy, you know?
Well, and Susan Hayward's in for a big thrill tonight.
Oh, thanks.
When Frank Buck gets here. Now there, Archie, is a real outdoor man.
Oh, yeah? I bet you I've been out of as many doors as he has. Miss Duffy, you just watch that Hayward melt. One look at me and she'll sweep me right off her feet.
Oh, them movie stars. Archie, if you men only knew how much mascara them movie stars use. How much rouge, lipstick, eyeshadow, face powder, eyebrow pencil, vanishing cream, cold cream, night cream, day cream, chin cream, neck cream, perfume and toilet water.
How do you know they use all that?
'Cause I use them too, and I'm a natural beauty. Archie, did you ever see a movie star when they got up in the morning?
No, but someday I hope to. And it so happens, Miss Duffy, that you're prejudiced. Them dames is just as beautiful in the morning as they are the rest of the day.
How would you know?
Because I read an article by a Beverly Hills milkman. Told me about Hollywood stars.
Hello, Art.
Oh, hello, Finnegan.
Hey, Art, did Frank Buck get here yet?
No, but when he does, I think you better stay under cover. He might throw a net over you.
So I'm anxious to meet him, Art. You know, I'm starting a little zoo of my own in my backyard. So far, I got a cat, a dog, and a fox.
A fox, huh, Finnegan? What kind of a fox? Silver?
No, a terrier.
Finnegan, Frank Buck is only interested in wild game, carnivorous animals. No, kind of show at carnivals. It's nothing to a guy like that to go into a jungle, walk up to a lion, look the lion in the eye, grab him by the legs, tickle him under the chin.
Oh, boy, that's fun.
Fun?
Yeah, especially if you do it to a dame.
Hello there, Archie boy.
Well, Officer Clancy. Hey, Clancy, I seen you marching in the parade last week. You look mighty sharp.
Well, my feet felt mighty flat.
Well, why didn't you try to get mounted duty?
What? And ride a horse for 8 hours? No, Archie, no. This way I can at least go home and soak my feet.
What you mean, Clancy? Why don't you stick around? You know, Frank Buck is coming down here tonight.
Frank Buck? And who might he be?
The big game hunter, the guy that brings them animals back alive.
Brings them back where alive?
Here.
What for?
To look at them.
Who wants to look at them?
Who wants to look at them? Everybody.
Not me.
Well, he brings them back anyway.
Who asked him to?
Nobody asked him to.
Then if you ask me, he's the jerk to be doing it.
Look, Clancy. That is how he makes his living.
Bringing animals over here?
Yeah.
And what happens when he gets them over here?
People look at them.
Not me.
You mean to say that if you saw a hippopotamus, you wouldn't look at it?
And how would I know it was a hippopotamus?
Because there's a sign that says hippopotamus.
If I could spell a word like hippopotamus, I'd be out taking the sergeant's exam.
Nancy, you are nothing but a thick-headed dope.
No, thicker than I am, and that's saying a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
What else else's know?
Well, not a thing. I think I'll be running along now. So long, Archie.
So long, Clancy. Beautiful ballad, I Just Kissed Your Picture Goodnight, sung by Clark Dennis, our tenor, who's happy to sing for a $5.
I just kissed your picture goodnight, and now, dear, I'll turn down the light. Your picture 'neath my pillow works like a charm, it seems, for you steal through my pillow into my dreams. You know we're not really apart, for we're still in each other's heart. So till the dawn, my darling, I'm sure that I'll sleep tight, for I just kissed your picture goodnight. Your picture 'neath my pillow works like a charm, it seems, for you steal through my pillow into my dreams. You know we're not really apart, for we're still in each other's heart. So till the dawn, my darling, I'm sure that I'll sleep tight, for I just kissed your picture
Pardon me, is your name Archie?
No, I'm Finnegan, but I know who you are.
Who?
Susan Hayward.
Finnegan, please. Got your tenses mixed. That's Frank Buck.
Oh.
Well, Mr. Buck, welcome to the interior of Darkest Duffy's. By the way, how do you like the joint?
Archie, I've never seen a nicer menagerie.
Well, I try to be a good manager. Mr. Buck, how's things in the big game? Pretty good?
Well, the orders keep coming in.
Orders? What do you mean orders?
Well, that's how I work, Archie. Zoos and circuses tell me what kind of animals they want, and I go out and bring them back.
You mean a guy writes you a letter and says, "Dear Mr. Buck, please send 12 hyenas assorted. 6 laughing and 6 crying." You mean something like that?
Well, it's something like that, Archie.
Pardon me, Mr. Buck.
Yes?
How much would a tiger cost me?
What do you want with a tiger?
It's in our house. We got very big mice.
Well, Finnegan, a tiger would cost you about $2,000.
Oh, that sounds reasonable. What size tiger would I get for that?
Oh, a tiger about 10 feet long.
How high?
About 4 feet.
No good. Couldn't get in them little mouse holes.
Finnegan. Oh, Mr. Buck, have you met Miss Duffy?
Miss Duffy, I greet you with the words of the African Mambas tribe, Apamachum Manabuli.
Likewise, I'm sure. Mr. Buck, I'd like to ask you a question.
What?
Did you ever capture an animal known as a Persian-dyed muskrat?
A Persian-dyed muskrat? I never heard of it.
I knew it. That Vera Fogarty. Trying to tell me her fur coat is genuine and mine ain't.
Well, what kind of a coat is yours?
South American wild plush.
Did you ever catch a wild plush, Mr. Buck?
Not yet.
Well, I know, of course he didn't. The man who sold me the coat said they're very hard to catch. You see, they got such short hairs, there's nothing to grab hold of, you know?
Them plushes is even harder to catch than a wild mohair.
Gee, Mr. Buck, you must have a thrill in life.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, don't be modest. You've locked George with death plenty of times, I bet. I bet you don't think no more of struggling with a lion or a tiger than I do with a fella. Mr. Buck, tell me, what was your most thrilling experience?
Well, there was a wild tapir that was tough.
A wild what?
A wild tapir. A beast I considered fairly harmless. I found him with a badly cut back. I tried to put some ointment on him, the bruise. Suddenly the tapir whirled, charged me, and buried his head in my stomach, knocked me flat on my back. I realized the danger and yelled for my native boy. Fortunately, he came running in the nick of time and beat the infuriated beast off. Boy, that was a close call.
Imagine Vera Fogarty saying hers was a genuine Persian-dyed muskrat. What was you saying about the tapir, Mr. Buck?
Oh, Miss Duffy.
Hawyard, look what just came in. The tomato from Hollywood.
Please. Tomato. In Hollywood, they are known as tomatoes. Mr. Buck, why don't you go over to the table and tell Miss Duffy the rest of that story about the paper?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Buck, you're very interesting. I'll never go to the zoo again without thinking of you.
Hawyard. Hey, look, Arch. Why did you brush off Mr. Buck?
Why did I brush him off? Finnegan, how many big game hunters do you think Miss Hayward wants to meet? Good evening, Miss Hayward.
Hello, Archie.
Miss Hayward, allow me to greet you in the words of the African Salami tribe. Appalachian Okra Gumbo.
Timbuktu.
You're welcome. Miss Hayward, may I say that Mother Nature has indeed been kind to you? Nose, them lips, that figure, them, oh, what am I talking about? You've been whistled at before.
Well, Archie, it's nice to hear about my nose and my lips, but... Oh, what am I talking about? You've been slapped in the face before.
Wait a minute, Miss Hayward. Don't get me wrong. Frankly, to me, a dame is a dame. I just soon chuck the whole affair and go back to the jungle.
The jungle?
Oh, certainly. You see, I'm only here in the States for temporarily. Recovering from the bite of a tsetse fly.
A tsetse fly? Well, doesn't that give you sleeping sickness?
Don't you think the eyes open no wider than this? However, it's all part of me life, you know. It's a big game hunter. See this mark on me arm?
Mm-hmm. What's that from?
Kicked by a cobra. By a cobra. By a cobra. One of them African savages.
Archie, a cobra is a snake.
Right, you can't trust one of them. But that's the law of the jungle. Either perish or die. By the way, did I, Trader Archie, tell you the most thrilling experience I ever had?
No, but I'm sure you're going to.
Well, if you insist. Well, sir, anyways, I was trying to put some ointment on the back of a wild tapeworm.
Archie, don't you mean a taper?
That's the male. Anyways, the female, this tapeworm, leaps on me, you see. Before I know it, she's fronting at me with a mouthful of fangs. So quick, I grab her by the nostrils, which forces it to open her mouth. Then I feint with me left and let go with a right uppercut and knock all her teeth out. Boy, that was a close call.
And you were safe?
No. There was still danger of being gummed to death.
Archie, that is a very old joke.
This happened in 1922. Well, sir, to go on, I faces this tapeworm, and raising me free hand...
What's the other hand doing?
I forgot to tell you about the tiger. Anyways, there I am, being attacked by them man-eating Ubangi, see? Their mouths is watering. They're just about to eat me. Eat me alive, you see. When all of a sudden,
Pardon me, Archie.
Mr. Buck, did you have to come in and spoil that dinner? Miss Hayward, this is Frank Buck.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Buck? Archie was just telling me about all of his experiences in the jungle.
Oh, yes? Archie, why don't you go to the jungle sometime?
I've been to a jungle.
What jungle?
Oh, a certain jungle.
Which one?
The Jingle Jangle jungle. And stop trying to make a sucker out of me, Mr. Buck, or Miss Hayward here is liable to realize that one of us is a phony. Right, Susan?
Oh, quiet, Archie. Mr. Buck, you must lead an exciting life. What was your most thrilling experience?
Well, there was that wild tapir, a beast I considered fairly harmless.
Okay, now, Finnegan, you all set?
All set, Archie.
Now, don't forget, fall in on your hands and knees. I've got to convince this thing. Miss Hayward,
Yes, Archie?
there seems to be an opinion around here that I'm a phony. I wish to remove that doubt. It seems that Frank Buck has intimidated that I was never in Africa.
Well, were you?
Miss Hayward, the proof. See that creature there, the one with the war paint and the ring in his nose, falling on his hands and knees there? Just brought him back from the jungles of Tondoleo. Watch this, Here, Hambo. Miss Hayward, you are now looking at a genuine pig man.
You mean pygmy?
Nope, pig man. Half man, half pig. Hambo, say hello to Miss Hayward.
Oink, oink.
Hambo, how does Miss Hayward look to you?
Oink, kitty.
Okay, Pigman, tell me this. Did you ever in your life see Frank Buck in the jungle?
Oink.
You ever see me there?
Yoink.
See, Miss Hayward, was I lying to you?
Wait a minute, Archie. What is this creature?
An African pig man, Mr. Buck. Half man, half pig.
I don't believe it.
What?
He's half man.
No? You know, huh?
Archie, why don't you quit this African nonsense? You know you were never there.
Mr. Buck, do I look to you like a liar? I said, do I look like a liar? I'll prove it to you. Big man, tell the white goddess to come in. The veiled white goddess, no?
The white goddess?
The white goddess of the zombie tribe. I rescued her from the swamis down there in the last safari, you know? Oh, here she is now, goddess. This is Mr. Buck and Miss Hayward.
Likewise, I'm sure.
Goddess, tell me, friends here, about yourself.
At age of 3, my parents broke law of jungle. I was left orphan.
What jungle law did your parents break, Goddess?
They poisoned cannibals.
How?
Cannibal ate them. So I was brought up by a couple of baboons.
And the goddess ain't kidding either.
Now, Archie, you shut your trap.
Why, Archie, she speaks like a city girl.
Well, yeah. She comes from one of the biggest cities in the jungle.
Yes, I am from Chicago.
There you are. Do you need any further proof?
Just a second, Goddess. What is the chant of your jungle?
Wait, is a chant what I think it is?
It's a song.
You're asking for trouble. Goddess, let him have it. After this, I left Africa.
Melody native is the chant of the jungle.
No wonder that Tarzan's always screaming.
For it sings of savage truth, tropic night and lovers all.
I would never bring her back alive.
What do you say, Miss Hayward? Are you convinced?
Yes, Archie. I'm convinced that I finally met somebody I could really be interested in.
Well, now, Miss Hayward, that's wonderful. Shall we go out now and sort of make arrangements?
Oh, I didn't mean you, Archie.
Huh? You going out with Frank Buck?
No.
Then who?
Hambo.
Before we leave Duffy's Tavern, leave us put a couple of nickels in Duffy's jukebox. Duffy's jukebox, where the feet meet the beat. Well, the platter's spinning, the needle's in the groove, and here's the first number coming up. Duffy's Tavern was rebroadcast especially for you men and women in the armed forces of the United Nations by the Special Service Division of the War Department of the United States of America.